Okay, it is 9:26 a.m., 4 minutes till the market open, the first day of the week, Monday, May the 17th. And these are the stocks in the main washes. I will be looking at LTNCH and BL for morning panic bounce plays, but ideally they drop, at least 10% and it looks clean. I might consider it then and there. Otherwise, I will be looking at GVSI, although this one might not ever have like a very nice morning panic bounce play just because it's not the best volume and it doesn't trade with a lot of volatility. GGII would be better in terms of that. It's already down 2% pre-market, so maybe people are trying to scare people into a panic. I don't know. It could potentially happen. This one is already qualified today for a morning panic bounce play as well. I will be cautious with this one because it's a bit of a mainstream stock, and on top of that, a lot of these, when they have their first red day, their first morning panic, they have fake outs. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. EVLI will be looking forward to a number 5 if it decides to do it. So morning panic bounce play, but it does have low volume. GEGI will just be a watch. EEGI will be a watch too. Ideally, it could run today and then tomorrow it could qualify for a morning panic bounce play. So that's all I have at the moment, just morning panic bounce plays. Again, I will consider LTNCH and BL, but it has to drop a lot and it has to be kind of clean. Okay, it is 9:41. Just a quick update. I think I started with GGII and I just didn't get my order filled. I had an order at 5,000 shares at 87 right here. Just didn't get executed here on the turnaround, and that was at 9:33. So again, just didn't get executed. So I went looking at the next stock that was downtrending. HTZGQ. I had my limit at 627. I never placed the entry. Just kind of bounced without me pretty quickly. So I went ahead and looked away from this one. I'd probably be selling here had I still be holding because it just broke that VWAP level. And so then I went to the third one, the least ideal one, GVSI, and I did get filled. I took a buy at 937, right here, 937, because it had that spike, and then it kind of downtrended towards this level, kind of like a double, not a double bottom, a higher low. And I got a buy at 404, right about here. I actually held a bit longer. We broke the VWAP level. The spread was kind of big, and it still kind of shows it, but it was worse at just a few minutes ago. And then I sold at 41 at 940, which was right here, just because it kind of broke that VWAP level. The spread was not looking too nice, but it is now at 42. I don't think I made much. I made $7, but I like it because I held a bit better. Sure, I could have held on to this. I'll just keep improving, but I feel like I got better. The spread was kind of bad. I could have sold higher in the 41s, but this is pretty nice. It was the least impressive setup out of them all. GGII was my ideal one. Maybe it can put up a higher low, then I'll be interested in it. Same with HTZGQ. This could put up a higher low. I'll be expecting a potential higher low if it can do that. Maybe ahead of an inverse head and shoulders like I think last week. So I'll be looking for those setups. There are setups, and I'll see if I can trade any of them. Okay, it is 9:52 a.m. I'm not totally dedicated into trading this, but it is starting to downtrend. It broke under VWAP. I would like to see another big volume spike, maybe not as big as this one, but a volume spike that kind of has some kind of a signification that max panic is in for a potential, whether it be a double bottom here or a higher low or maybe a lower low, but it kind of makes an inverse head and shoulders. It's just going to be a watch. I'm still watching it. GGII was watching this, but it seems like it's not doing much. Again, this one kind of downtrended. If I were to have been executed at 87, probably would have tried selling at 93 because it broke the VWAP level. And EVLI did drop it. It is bouncing, but look at this volume, 52 to 58, I guess. But I don't know. That's super damn sketchy. GEGI, same thing, just low volume. Wouldn't have traded this actually. Never mind. I just thought these were all morning panic bounce play setups. EEGI is up trading. That's pretty nice. Again, maybe it can be, morning panic bounce play if it can run tomorrow too. I'm not, expecting anything, but we'll see what it does. Would hate it if it starts to reverse here, although we are starting to get big volume. So I will be watching this closely. I'm not too upset if I miss it because it's a bit of a mainstream stock, but I'll definitely be watching this. Okay, it is 10 a.m. I feel like this is a short seller's worst fear. I thought it was going to downtrend a little more, but it just went right under VWAP. It looks like, at least for right now, it's going to hold. There was a huge wall of buyers at 645. Didn't take any buys. Would have liked it if it dropped more, but it was just proving perfect. Holding action and curving action, putting up higher lows. We'll see what it does from here. There's no buy. GVSI did do like a higher low, right? So here's a low, higher low. I just didn't want to trade it because it's low volume and a liquid. This whole thing, even though it spiked nicely, right? It got as high as 45, almost 45. You can see here we had some sketchy times when the spread was too much and the volume was too weak, so I don't regret it too much because I did sell just at the VWAP level, so maybe not. No, I guess right under it. Yeah, just under it a little, but that's the idea. Morning panic, buy, sell when it slightly breaks past VWAP. So I'm going to keep working on that. GGII. Oh, this is nice. Maybe it's going to do a follow-up panic. I'll be watching this, especially over HTZGQ, although I have that on the other screen. That's all I got right now. I'll be looking for more setups. Okay, it is 10:13. I had another trade with, my first trade with GGII. I did a buy at 10:05. Right here, first green candle at, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 10:05 at 81.5, which was right here. Pretty good entry if you ask me. First green candle, reversal and level 2 was showing, and then I did not like the price action. There were just people selling on the bid, a lot of people doing it, and it looks like it kind of stunted this potential bounce, right? We did have a big volume candle here too, so it was a good entry. Price action was just not good. It was just too many people dumping their bids, dumping their shares on the bid, and I held a bit longer. I mean, not too much longer, but I sold at 10:07 right here at 828, which was right here. I mean, the highest it got to was 83. If you want to count the wick, 84. Just a lot of people were, as you can see, just dumping their shares on the bid. So it's just going to be a watch. GVSI, nothing. HTZGQ. Yeah, I didn't like that, how it just, held itself so high. I wanted it to drop much lower. It didn't do it. It's very gradual. I might consider it, but now it doesn't even look like it can make a clean inverse head and shoulders. I don't know if I have a screenshot. No, not anytime soon, but I don't like the way this is trading. So it's just going to be a continued watch. There might be more setups. I like my GGII trade, I think, more than GVSI. They're both okay, but I feel like I could have done better. Still could have probably held a bit longer. Even though I was right on the bad price action, I mean, it does show that it was struggling a lot here with these small candles. GVSI probably could have tried selling. I don't know, because sometimes when it breaks VWAP and then it just gets right under it. So I don't know. I feel like I still have a long way to go, but I feel like this is better than my previous trades. At least that's what it feels like. Okay, it is 10:53 a.m. Just gonna be a quick update. Haven't been looking at the markets as much, but nothing here. I want to trade with GVSI. Very nice. I need to keep getting better at these morning panic bounce plays. Selling, ideally waiting for a break above VWAP. Of course, sometimes it doesn't do it, and then a sell right at that level. Nothing more, nothing less. GGII kind of did it. So you see that drop bounced, and now it got to that VWAP level, kind of broke past it, right? So that's kind of why I sold a bit right there, because it kind of broke it, and it might just go right under it, which is what it did here with GGII. I guess it took a few minutes though, but this one was nice. You don't see something like this that much, a 10% move from the VWAP break level, but that's pretty impressive in and of itself. I just have to keep getting better at that. GGII, my buy was right here, I believe, and I sold right here. Just didn't like the price action. I changed it right here, risk entry, then trend change or price change. What? Risk entry, then trend change or price action change. Okay, risk entry, then sell on. There we go. Risk entry, then sell on trend change or price action change. This was a price action change right here, because there was just a bunch of people that started dumping their shares at the bid, and that wasn't looking too nice. Again, I missed this one, HTZ GQ. I could have bought at 27. I just didn't want to, when it started spiking here, I didn't want to chase. So this one was nice, because this one, you can see here, broke that VWAP level, got a bit above it. That's the dream. That's the ideal plan. This one, EEGI, I was looking for inverse head and shoulders, right? Like a potential shoulder, head, shoulder, or even here, shoulder, head, shoulder. It just wasn't looking that nice. It didn't. This neckline would have, excuse me, ideally spiked higher, but it didn't do that. So maybe you'll do one here, shoulder, head. If it does a spike towards the neckline at 90, it makes the shoulder at VWAP. That might not be such a bad setup. LTNC did do a number 5. Well, not really number 5. A morning panic bounce play. Dropped right from 28 to, what is this? I guess if you count the wick, 24, maybe 25. So roughly 10%. This one did it too. Had that spike in it. Probably in a previous, few weeks, I would have sold into this candle right here. But now I'd probably hold. And now, it did break that VWAP level, and then it got to 26.7, give or take. That would have been a somewhat good entry, not entry, but exit. So, maybe a buy at 25.2 and a sell at 26.7. Not much range, but it is a little degenerate, because it's just downtrending all day. People are not really talking as much on Twitter. I mean, I feel bad, but a lot of them probably deep down inside felt like they should have sold at some point. I think there's that saying that, like, let's go, like, wait for it to get to the moon or whatever, like it's going towards the moon, but when it gets at the moon, you need to, you need to sell when it's at the moon. Some people made a lot of money, I think, And then a lot of people made a lot but never sold it for a profit, and now they're just still holding. But still impressive. No setups right now. Let's just take a look at the largest percent gainers. I don't want to trade this one. Although it's nice, I just don't want to trade it because of the fact that it is an F ticker stock, so I don't want to pay a $60 fee with Schwab. I could do E-Trade, I think, but the problem is that it's still a margin account, and I don't want to be a part of that. I guess I could have tried buying with E-Trade, but I don't know. Nothing here I really would have wanted to have traded either. Maybe a buy, like right under VWAP, or not even I guess the VWAP triangle. I don't see any clear setups I might have traded back there. And then RX is the other one. I don't like this price action. I've learned from some other trade, I forgot which one it was, that traded like that. And then we have that EEGI. ENZC is uptrending a little. I don't like the price action here. And ICBU, I think, was up the other day. Doesn't look nice here either. So yeah, just gonna call it off. I might end it early. I don't think there's anything I want to trade towards the end of the day. EEGI could be that one. I think I missed it previously, but it's the second day and I already had this run up here. might be a bit sketchy. Probably will make an update to see how it does, but at this point, 10:58, I'll be looking at other things, working on my business, and yeah, likely won't trade anything else today. I did have 2 trades, just getting better. I think, you know, selling towards a VWAP break, slightly above it, and both of these had opportunities. I did have a trade that did not get filled with GGII. I did miss that initial dip towards 87 right here, you know, but I did buy it later here. And GVSI, this one I participated in. I bought here, I sold here, and then HTZ GQ just didn't even put in an order, kind of, because it moves fast. And this one was nice too. Again, to sell towards that breakout over that VWAP level, and I mean 625, 627ish to 663. That's not bad. It's not 10%, but it was pretty kind of predictable in that sense. So yeah, I'll just keep looking, but not too much. We'll just likely call it off. I don't think I'll be interested in but buying EEGI for like a sell into a strong close, just because of the fact it's on the second day and already had a run up. Overall markets are not looking that nice, which also could affect it. Could be worse, but you know, it's just gonna be a very cautious watch. I doubt I'll trade anything, but who knows. Okay, it is 11:25. Just want to make a quick update. EEGI did do that inverse head and shoulders. Initially, I wanted it to be here, shoulder, head, maybe shoulder, then maybe here at VWAP. It didn't work, but it happened. I just wasn't there when I did it. Shoulder, head, shoulder, you know, slightly, no, right at the level actually from the other shoulder. That's pretty nice, you know, nice buy at 78. And then I guess a sell after the VWAP break at 82. So not that much range, but you know, 5% move, give or take. But that was an inverse head and shoulders here, second day, and more speculative, but it worked out here. Okay, it is 1:27 p.m. I haven't been in the house, but this is nice. Very impressive. Sure, I can be a little salty, but not really, because it's the second day. It is doing nice. I mean, sometimes a lot of these get to the third day, so maybe in the future I'll consider a dip buy because of the fact that a lot of these run 3 days in a row. At least, you know, before it starts to get too risky. It's still the second day. Just impressive now at 93. Pretty nice. Maybe if it dips towards VWAP or something like that. We are at 128, so I might consider this a buy towards the end of the day, but it's not 100%. You know, it all depends on how it trades, and there is risk because it is the second day, but I'll definitely be looking. Okay, I am back. 4:57. I haven't seen the markets, and initial impressions. What happened? EEGI was that potential. That was a potential, you know, buying towards a very strong close. It just fell off a cliff. It didn't even really offer a dip buy opportunity. Not really something I would have considered for a dip buy because of the fact that it wasn't very up. You know, this was technically the first big green day, so we didn't get 3 of those. GGII. Overall markets don't look like, you know, they look okay. It's not like the overall markets are why it just took a dump. What happened to, well, LTNC did do a morning panic bounce play. It kind of worked. I mean, it would have been degenerate. This guy just, it must have had some kind of bad news. Some kind of bad news must have came out. HTZGQ didn't really do much afterwards. Not bad, really. GVSI is down 26%. This was the morning panic bounce play that I traded. I also traded GGII. I'm leaving that one for last. It just faded the entire day. Didn't really provide a bounce setup. It just kept downtrending. Why did GGII close so horribly? Lots of volume traded here. Just a lot of fake outs. I mean, it looks like it kind of worked. This is the one I bought. Didn't like the selling price action. I guess a double bottom here, and it got to 84, but it just kept downtrending. This is where it could have done an inverse head and shoulders if this was in the morning. Shoulder, head, shoulder didn't really do well. Then it did. It just faded off harshly. That looks really bad. This one threw up hard. And I remember some people were short HTZGQ, but it kind of balanced it in. Break below the morning day low, and it seems like it never did that. I'll be back. I'll take a look and see if I can find news or something that explains why GGII just dropped 50% almost. It's actually kind of impressive for a stock to drop more than 30% on the day. You know, like maybe if it does a gap down over news, that makes sense, but a stock to downtrend more than 30%, that's kind of impressive. GVSI was pretty close, but 44%? Wow, I'm gonna take a look. Maybe I can find news, maybe not. Okay, I don't see an update. I don't see news or anything. It just had a horrible downtrend. Same with EEGI. Maybe EEGI had news, but I didn't check. I just checked GGII because it was down more. It just threw up half of its gains like that. That's pretty impressive. Didn't really provide much of a bounce setup. You know, might have been here faked out. I might have been faked out on the inverse head and shoulders, but not really, because these are in the afternoon, and I traded an inverse head and shoulders before. I think it was HTZGQ, and it didn't work, so I would just stay away from it, but maybe I would have been faked out. But that was just a nice, impressive downtrend. And that's why after the initial big panic, morning panic, you know, if it seems like it's going to continue dipping, I don't trade these because they're kind of degenerate, they're kind of risky. That's why I wait for inverse head and shoulders. And that would have, if I had traded this, would have been a small loss. A very small loss, or maybe even a profit if I went for the second bounce. But that was late in the day, so I already knew that was risky. Just very impressive. So yeah, 2 trades with GGII and GVSI. Really just a good trading day. I need to keep getting better at selling a lot of these morning panics. I mean, overall markets were downtrending. I guess that could be why, but it wasn't that bad if you ask me. It could be worse, but hey, yeah, just need to keep getting better. Ideally, morning panic bounce play, buy on a reversal in level 2, and then, you know, risk off the entry price. And if it doesn't break the entry price immediately, you know, if it's not in a stutter step, that's when I try to go for that VWAP breakout level and then sell into that. That's all I got. Just a good trading day. Pretty impressive how much these things dropped. That's why you don't bag hold. And yeah, I'll just call it off right here.